Hello, this is Retreat Briefing in Tuesday, March 6th, and today's topic is what does Bitcoin correction actually mean? So I told you that if Bitcoin can break through 69,198, which was in last November 2021, it can renew its record high every day, but I've shown you that there are many short positions, liquidation price over 69.2k, so they actually went up all the way to there and started to fall about 14% in 3 hours. So it was a historical moment when Bitcoin renewed its highest price, but it eventually betrayed us. So today's key point is whether this correction is for short-term or long correction market coming again. So I think until this weekend is a big and important time to decide the overall flow of the market for later. So to begin, let's have a look at dominance as I always do in the first. So the Bitcoin dominance had a huge fall starting from yesterday midnight, and a lot of selling eventually dropped the Bitcoin's dominance. And you can see that Ethereum and the Tether dominance had increased, and the Tether dominance's increase means that people are taking profit a lot right now rather than buying or investing in the crypto. And then the altcoins also dropped since altcoins follow Bitcoin and Ethereum, and the Bitcoin affects more. And this is a Goya Dominance 1 chart from 12 p.m. in Monday to 11 a.m. today. So starting from this point, 8 p.m. yesterday, the dominance started to fall, and this means that Goya was already noticing about the correction is coming, so it's quite impressive. And we're gonna look right now's dominance later when we watch our premium chart. And this is a liquidation heat map for last 24 hours. As you can see, the market is covered up with the long positions liquidation. And I told you that yesterday 24 hours liquidation was very huge amount that I've never seen before, but it almost doubled today. So I put many it's $1.6 billion, which is an amazing amount of money. And this is a liquidation heat map for last 4 hours in 11 a.m. in South Korea. And Bitcoin seems to rebounded slightly starting from morning. So it started to liquidate some short positions who were expecting more fall. And the whole market seems to have a strong up and down movement. So right now, it will be a very difficult day for us to trade. So I brought an article which made a high selling pressure yesterday. The reason for it. So the early miners seems like they have just sold the long dormant Bitcoin, which they mined real time before. So sourced from old block rewards right when Bitcoin plunged from its record high yesterday. So that might have impacted the market, which made the correction more stronger and faster. And I brought a good news about the Bitcoin, which is the crypto analysts said that this correction was inevitable since the price rose too fast. So they even needed once. And they described this correction as a welcome move before healthy consolidation occurs. So instead of FOMO, trusting Goya signal and trade will definitely make you survive from this chaotic market. And when I was reading or gathering some articles, I found there was a term called ATH. So the trading terms are quite complicated, and there are some weird words too. So I wrote down 12 words that traders should know. So the first one is FUD, which is an abbreviation of fear, uncertainty, and doubt. So F FUD, which is a tactic used to manipulate investors with rumors, adverse facts, false news stories, or any other information to use to their advantage. So it's a fake news to make you buy or make you sell and then take profits. And FOMO, we recently talked about this word a lot of times. So fear of missing out is worried feeling that you may miss a bull market and buying in a hurry. Never FOMO, it will liquidate your whole money if you're a futures trader. And this HODL, which is a change from hold, someone typed it wrong in the internet. So, which means just as word says, to hold your assets. And this is the same as the hold one. So it's changed from build, which means that to actively participate to cryptocurrency market more than investing. So, and this is safe. So another one changed from safe, usually used as funds are, how do I read this? Safu, it's safe, yeah. And ROI, which you can see when you trade, return on investment. And ATH, which I mentioned just before, it's called the all-time high with record high, same words. So, and ATL in contrast is all-time low. And DYOR, so means do your own research. It's a very important word, which means that you have to check and don't just believe what others say. So if your friends say, oh, the Bitcoin is rising, so you have to buy it. So don't just trust and buy without thinking. You must do your own research. And DD, which means due diligence. A reasonable person makes decision with facts, not rumors, such as FUD. And the AML, the anti-money laundering, so it prevents criminals laundering their bad black monies in the crypto market. And KYC, when you sign up at the exchange, you do this. So know your customer's abbreviation. So exchanges use KYC to identify you or make your account secure. And let's move on to our liquidation heat map. So this is for a Bitcoin in yesterday. So yesterday, by watching this, I said there are a lot of assets. These yellow lines are gathering all the way up to 69K. So that's why I said it will probably go up. And since it renewed its last highest price, so I wish the Bitcoin to go 70K, but let's have a look at here. So it eventually reached this point and liquidated this whole short positions, and then just starting to drop all the way down to it's almost this long green line. It's almost up to 59K and liquidated this whole money all over here. The long positions were all dead. So the power of the market movers is just unbelievable. And this is a liquidation heat map for Ethereum yesterday. And there's also a yellow long line, which means the long positions liquidation price, it's near here. And since there are assets gathering up here too, so I told you that it's hard to decide where the Ethereum might go. And it might follow where Bitcoin goes. I said like that. And this is for today. So it's 057040. Yeah, it's starting from here. It kept increased and those short positions were liquidated. So it reached all the way up to 3.8K. And just same as Bitcoin, it dropped all the way down even to 3.2K and liquidated those long positions, every long positions existing in here. So they just wiped out everything in its way, and now it's moving near with a rebound here. So it was a very tough night in South Korea. And this is a RSI heat map. This is for yesterday, and this is, oh, I mistyped the word, but don't mind. The date is not important since it means yesterday and today. And if you can, as you can see, this RSI, the cryptos are spreading more, so there are coins under this weak positions, and up here there's a strong position, so it dropped a lot. But there are many cryptos that rebounded, and that's probably why the heat map looks like this. And if Bitcoin drops more from now, altcoins might drop even more, so pay special attention while trading. So now let's have a look at our Goya Premium chart. Let's have a look at dominance first. So I told you, starting from yesterday about 8 p.m. Over here. Yeah, over here it started to drop, and then it's keep rising. Right now it's 12.9 points. It means that the price is rebounding. As you can see, in the score chart, it dropped significantly all the way down here, but it's rebounding right now. So if you look at our premium chart, you can notice that after this harsh drop, we got another rocket icon here. So this means that Bitcoin price just surged all the way up, and with a lot of L signals, and eventually the RSI changed into L signal, and we got another L3. So it's moving near this 66k, so above the Goya line. As you can see, it's moving over here. So if we look at our support and resist line, you can see that this point, 69.35, this was the record high, but just touched there and starting to drop with continuing four even rocket drop icons. So it was a very sad moment. And now, since now it's rebounding, so we have to see how far it will go. But since there are ups and down movements before here, so I think just think as this line as a first resistance instead of this line. And if it breaks through and continues this long rising trend, I think the Bitcoin will try this position once again. And you can notice that there are big gaps because of this long minus candle. This big gap with our buy line and the support line and the resist line is because they moved in very urgently. So let's have a look at Ethereum. Ethereum rebounded quite a lot, so the same as Bitcoin. This rocket icon is only made when the Bitcoin's price falls dramatically or rise dramatically. So with Bitcoin, it's starting to fall and just went all the way down to here. But just like Bitcoin, with an L signal, it started to break through the Goya line, and with an L2, so it was just moving all the way up here. So now it even reached all the way near 3.9k. So now it's still doing something here. So it is the highest point recently. So I think Ethereum just recovered from this amount, the huge drop here. So if you look at our support and resist line, the resist line, of course, is the highest point just an hour before here now. It was 6 p.m. So if this candle right now just goes all the way up here, and the Ethereum, it's so-called the sky is opening. And once again, our buy line is really under there due to this long candlestick's tail. So I suggest you to ignore this for a while. If you are gonna buy in a spot trade, Yeah, it would be nice to wait until here, but the future trades, I think you can't wait until here. So the first point to look at is near the Goya line. So if the candlesticks break down the Goya line, that would be a signal of fall. So the candlestick's middle part, I mean like this candlestick, it has to break like this in order to rise or fall. So keep that in mind. Now let's look at Ripple. Ripple also had like every coin had a big drop in this point. So it had a big drop and it's trying to rebound from here. So with another L signal, and this LB went slightly over the Goya line, but now it dropped again. So I think Ripple is having a hard time recovering the impact of this big fall. So if you look at support and resist line, this place might be the first support. It says 0.655, and if you break through this part, and this place would be, when was it? It's yesterday 11 a.m., which was the highest point recently. You can see that 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 all gathered in one line. So it's quite a strong resist line. So this place will be a second. So if this candle just goes all the way up to here, then the Ripple also might have a chance to increase a lot. But assuming by looking at the score chart, I think it would be looking like Ripple will move in sideways for a while. And finally, let's have a look at Doji. We have now rising 6.4 score now. So again, same with the Bitcoin's drop. It dropped all the way down and now it's rebounding. So it broke through the Goya line and moving upwards, but we don't especially have a strong L signal. So I think it's difficult to expect a big rise or recover all the way up to here. So I told you this line. So I think it will take some time to reach this first resist line. But if it reach here and break through this part, I think it will eventually try to renew its highest point. It's 0.2. So Doji was showing a good moves in this month in February too. So I hope Doji quickly recovers and show a good move again. So we had a hard time yesterday. So I hope you guys to chill for a little while and watch how the market goes and do a safe trade as always. And thank you for listening. Bye.